Hello! You get glitter stitches and I get glitter stitches and our projects get glitter stitches today. I'm the knitting fairy godmother and today is a knit along day. So if you have a project, go get your project. Or if you would like to knit along and make the same project that we're making, you can get it. It's a free pattern. If you sign up for the KnitLetter, then you'll get the free pattern download and a coupon code that you can use to add the pattern to your Ravelry library. You can sign up with the link in my bio or go to knittingfairygodmother.com to get the pattern. Sign up for the newsletter. Every week I send an email about knitting because that's all I talk about, and glitter stitches. So if you want some magic in your inbox, then sign up today. Today we're going to make the 108 stitch hearts, which is the free pattern that you get when you sign up for my newsletter. Last week we talked about our virtual book club, Mindful Makers by Ellie Beck, and the subject was experimenting. So I want to model that we're going to experiment today. Normally I knit this pattern with US 7 4.5 millimeter needles on a worsted weight yarn, and today we're experimenting. We're changing it up. We are using a lace weight yarn, which is the smallest type of yarn. It's a 0 lace and big needles. So these needles are US 9 5.5 millimeter, and we're going to knit the pattern and see what happens. So we are experimenting with the pattern. And if you've never knit the pattern before, then just use the yarn and needles that you have, and the fact that you're trying something new for the first time is going to be your experiment. If you've made it before, then maybe this is a good opportunity to switch it up and try something new. So once you've got your pattern downloaded, everything that you need is your yarn, your needles, and we'll use a pair of scissors at the end to cut our tail. All right, let's get started. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the inspiration for this pattern. It's rated easy because we use simple shaping techniques and simple knitting techniques. This pattern is knit flat in garter stitch, which means that we knit every stitch and knit every row. The increase that we use is the knit front and back increase. It looks the best with the garter stitch because there's a little bar that gets created as we knit through the back of the stitch, which is why I decided on that increase for this project. That's the design element that I chose. But if you don't know that increase, this is a great project to practice, or you can use whatever increase you know and are comfortable with and see what happens. So I knit this pattern every day as part of my meditation and imperfection practice. I have found that it's a good way for me to practice making mistakes because it's something that I do every day, and I don't have the expectation. I don't show people my finished hearts, and if I do, it's not to the degree that they would see my mistakes. So it's a little bit of a way that I can practice something new to me in a safe and controlled way. And I use the yarn and needles that I have around, and I try to, if I make a mistake, leave it, which is the practice part. Today we're experimenting, so we're using big needles and small yarn to see what happens because that's part of the creation process. And who knows what's going to happen. We might find a little nugget of fun or something that we can explore some more. The pattern was designed with 108 stitches in total, and the inspiration for that is a little bit from sacred geometry and universal numerology, because the number 108 is very special. It's important across all faith systems of the entire world, and it's found in math, sacred geography, design, the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. There's 108 in there. It's how the fern fronds grow and unfurl, the ratio. It's used in the semicircle of a nautilus shell. All of these things have the golden ratio and the number 108 sort of inside of them. Even the sequences that snowflakes are created, like it's winter now, so we can be thinking about snow if you're in the northern hemisphere, and you can find the number 108 in snowflakes. Even in popular culture, in the baseball that you use to play baseball, the stitches, there's 108 stitches on the baseball. So it's an important number. Oh, and of course, like commonly, if you're familiar with the prayer beads or a mala or a rosary, there's 108 beads on those prayer strings. So that's sort of the inspiration, the idea, or the inspiration for picking the number 108. And then it just sort of turned into like a fun little challenge to see what shapes I could make. And I thought that the heart was perfect for the symbol of universal love, right? Because that's a great thing to think about every day. And the project is small enough that you can make it quickly and easily. You can tie the ends in, and it can be a gift tag. You can send it to a friend as a symbol of your love for them. You can put it over your rearview mirror. There's lots of ways that you can sprinkle love throughout your life, or you can string it together and make a bigger statement like a garland or a mat, or I don't know. Experiment, see what happens. And of course, it's a stash buster, because no matter what size needles or yarn that you have and use, the pattern creates a heart. Or that's my hypothesis that we're testing today. So we'll see what the result is. And I love to see what everyone's created and how everyone can get creative with this pattern. So if you make something, just tag me at Knitting Fairy Godmother or use the hashtag 108 Stitch Heart so that I can see and comment on your great creations. So I finished, and this is the result. So these are big needles and lace weight yarn. Let's see if I can get it closer to the camera. Oh, look at that. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you for sitting and knitting along with me today. And until we see each other next time, keep knitting.